Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is scheduled for one fall. Introducing your hosts, Kids at Hart.
What is going on, everybody?
Why, hello there, wrestling squad. Is that a thing? I don't know. I just felt like...
Is that what our fans are called, the wrestling squad?
No, we have to come up with something better than that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we'll have the conversation. Maybe that's our high spot, just us trying to
The heart of the kids at heart. I don't know. It's really corny and cheesy and stupid. But
well, either way, welcome to Wrestle Real, everybody. My name is the world's strongest Chris Anthony Lopez, and joining me is Nick, entrant number 30 Muldock. And
number 30.
Muldock, what is going on, my man? What's good?
I debuted on Wrestle Reel this week, a brand new setup. Basically what happened, and I don't know what happened to my pocket camera, but I've been using my webcam on my computer for the past, but I was able to snag a new pocket camera, as you can see right here. So I'm recording in 4K, I guess, but it's being compressed down to 1080. Yeah, well, I'm using a new thank you, sir. I'm using a new wired internet setup, and I have just, BoJack Horseman pop figures are actually to the left of this picture of Lou and I. So I guess I should be showing that off, but I guess I'm not. But we're not here to talk about BoJack. Well, do I have my AJ Styles back here? I might.
We can talk about BoJack. We can talk about BoJack all you want, brother. So, I mean, first of all, before we continue with the show and the wrestling we watched this week, because Nick, I did actually watch some wrestling this past couple weeks. I would like to speak on Nick and I's behalf. We apologize for not having a show last week. Just stuff happened, scheduling, and Nick and I we have a lot going on.
Yes.
So we apologize, and next time we will let everyone know in advance when this stuff happens. So
communication is the most important thing in the world, I've learned, when it comes to doing this. So hey. If we need a Wrestle Real Twitter account or something like that, that might be in the works, just so you guys can all keep updated as to what we're doing. But as you can see up there at the top, we have Twitter accounts. So I don't know what is wrong with us. I think that it's because we tried to record it like 7 different times. And then
we definitely tried. We tried to do a show, 1,000%.
Yes.
But it's just, and we're in different time zones, so the times got misconstrued. Either way, we're here now. We're going live on a Friday. I love going live on Fridays, Nick.
I do too.
Really I love going live on Fridays. When we do get the chance to do this, because I know sometimes they have sports, and sometimes you're out there making movies and stuff. So it really just it depends on what we got going on. But either way, maybe it involves date change or show date change. Who knows?
I've heard of a date opening up, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that actually got confirmed. But we'll talk about that later. But
we'll talk about that later. Wrestling.
Have you watched any wrestling this week?
Well, more wrestling related YouTube videos. I think in the weeks going up to the Royal Rumble, I'm always invested in something YouTube related, whether it be Cultaholic or the very few times that I'm watching the other channel that all those Cultaholic guys came from. I will watch a top 10 video. We love you, Simon. You're the only one we love. I'll watch a top 10 video, something obscure about the Royal Rumble. I actually just got done watching Adam Blampied doing the men's Royal Rumble. I guess it was up to the Parts Fun Known Patreons as to what he did. And they all chose the men's Royal Rumble. For the women's Royal Rumble, he did give a very quick prediction or fantasy booking, I guess. He said he wanted Bianca Belair to be the Iron Woman. He said that not winning, surprisingly, like some of us might predict here later on. He wanted Bianca Belair to be the Iron Woman. He wanted, let's see here. He wanted the Final Four to be Charlotte, to be Rhea Ripley, who he predicted as the winner. Bianca Belair and somebody else, but I don't remember who it was. For the men's final two, he had Keith Lee and Daniel Bryan, with Daniel Bryan going over. And he had Keith Lee eliminating Brock Lesnar. His was a little bit weird. He had some interesting story points that I don't think that they're going to do. I don't know how close Jimmy is to being back. He had Rikishi coming out as like a thing. I don't know.
Oh wow.
There also was some. So, I always go into watching Cultaholic News with the idea that something happened and I might be spoiled to something when it comes to wrestling. And I watched their news video today, which had some potential Royal Rumble returns on it. Now, what was nice about that, it was nobody that you wouldn't expect. As in, it's people on the main roster right now. You had your Braun Strowman, you had your Seth Rollins, people that we imagine might actually come back. It wasn't like they were like, oh, we saw the Hurricane walking into the Thunderdome or something like that. It was because, what's interesting about this Rumble this year, and I don't want to get off onto too much of a tangent, but hey,
we are going to chat about the Rumble later. We
will chat about the Rumble later. It's just that all I'll say is that there have been very few people who have been confirmed for each match. I think it's been a 13 split or something like that between the two. 26, I guess, in that case. But I'm very excited. Wrestle Real Talk is coming this Sunday. I will just mention that right now. We'll mention it throughout the show. But yeah, so I watched a lot of wrestling Royal Rumble related YouTube videos, but not a lot of wrestling. But what wrestling did you watch, buddy?
Okay, so this is more so the wrestling and wrestling adjacent, right? So, and what I mean by wrestling adjacent, I mean interviews. And I watched something you actually might like, Nick, if you haven't seen it. It's the Stone Cold sessions with Bayley. I
wanted to watch that so badly. I've watched them do the ding dong hello what thing over and over and over again because I can watch anything that Bayley does.
And so I've come on this show and I've said, I'm not a big fan of Bayley. I like Bayley a lot, especially her heel turn as of late. But I wasn't the biggest fan of her stuff before that, and I've gone on record saying she had a kick-ass 2020. But absolutely. This interview with her, I thought to myself, "Oh my God, Bayley freaking rules, dude."
She does.
I love I have a new love for Bayley I didn't have before after watching the interview with her and Stone Cold. I think you should really watch it. It probably just adds to your love of Bayley.
I want to because I always end up catching the clips on YouTube. I keep mentioning YouTube because I do a lot of my entertainment through YouTube.
We live here. Yeah.
We're on YouTube right now. But gosh, I feel like I have so much free reign. Also, I move the camera. There they are, the Bojack. I'm missing Mr. Peanut Butter, so I gotta find him.
Dude, I love them. I don't have those, and I'm so jealous. Off topic, Bayley, please.
Bayley, we love Bayley. I love Bayley. I think she's one of my favorite women's wrestlers. She honestly, we'll talk Royal Rumble later, but I love Bayley. Yes. So that's man, I do want to check that out very badly though.
It's really dope, and on top of that, I watched the 2013 Rumble again a couple days ago. WWE, they do this cool thing where they release a bunch of matches themed around pay-per-views up until or right before the pay-per-view.
Yes.
So on their YouTube, they released the 2013 one, the 2020 women's one, I believe it was 2020, 2019. 2019, it was one that Becky won. And I rewatched. I only got to the first half of the first Women's Rumble of 2018 or 2018. Because
that was fun.
Yeah, I forgot how much fun I had watching that. Because the Women's Rumble, I remember vividly, oh God, this is gonna be weird. It's gonna I don't know how they're gonna adjust to it. But then again, they said, "Fuck you, Chris. You don't know what you're talking about." That's my one. They're like, "Yo, this is gonna be great," and it obviously was a lot of fun. There were a lot of fun interactions in that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Plus, oh God, it was just so much fun. I love that Rumble a lot, and it's Asuka, man.
It is Asuka
went over.
You know
it was a great year for Rumbles 2018.
Well, yeah, because Shinsuke won the men's one.
Yes, he did.
And I watched that one live. I think that might have been the first Rumble I actually watched all the way through, the pay-per-view. Word. So here's my thing about WWE when they release those matches. And it has nothing to do with the Rumble matches per se. It has everything to do with like the fact when they upload regular matches. Because so they uploaded Dolph Ziggler versus Edge at the Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight Championship today.
That had to have been like what, 2009, 2008?
I think so, something like that. And I'm sitting there, and I'm about to watch the dang thing, and it starts in the ring. I'm so mad. I just want to watch these entrances and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm like, I want to see Edge either come out with the championship or Dolph Ziggler come out with Vicky with the championship stolen from Edge. I know that that's happened a few times. But it's like, because I remember distinctively right before I watched the video, I'm going, is this one of those matches where Ziggler stole the World Heavyweight Championship from Edge? This has to be one of those matches. But I click on it, and they're in the ring. Bell rings, the match starts. I'm going, I want to see Edge walk out as champion again. I know that it's probably just a simple YouTube search away. Because a lot of those entrances end up getting like uploaded onto YouTube and stuff like that. But I'm just like,
network,
I'm like, WWE, save me the time. I know that you want me to use your app, and I know that you want me to definitely be switching over to count number one.
One hell of a segue, Nick Molbach. My God, that was. I mean, holy hell! I mean, we could have kept going, but that segue, I can't help but appreciate it. That was kick-ass.
I didn't know if we were going to or not, so I felt like we would have spent another 20 minutes talking about all the wrestling that we watched.
Yeah, because I totally did watch the 2010 Rumble and the review Brian Zane did on Wrestling with Regret.
I need to get into watching those. By the way, Brian Zane, come on, Wrestling Real, please. Brian Zane, we're begging you, please come on to Wrestling Real.
So, Nick, you mentioned that WWE is switching over to a different streamer, which came out of freaking nowhere a couple days ago.
Right? Like, where were you when you heard that WWE was going to Peacock? Because I was on the toilet. I'm going to be honest.
I was at work. What was this, Tuesday? Was it Tuesday?
I think so, yeah. Monday or Tuesday. It was one of those two.
So I was at work. I was at my desk. I just got done doing my morning show over here in Oklahoma. And then, bang, I go to my desk. I always go on Twitter. But somehow I missed the news. I was going through Twitter during my show. And I pop a squat and bang. WWE is switching over to Peacock. All the content's going to Peacock in this unprecedented $1 billion deal. And everything switches over on March 18th. So we have one more month and a half left of the WWE network as it exists right now. Because the app will be dead to us in America. The app will still exist overseas.
So weird.
Right? Like so initial thoughts on this thing. The first thing I thought of was $1 billion?
Right.
Like $1 billion?
$1 billion with a B.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I know it's World Wrestling Entertainment. It's the biggest wrestling company in the world. It's arguably bigger than Cirque du Soleil is / ever was. Like it's a traveling circus that's only held to baseball stadiums right now because of the pandemic. But oh my God, $1 billion just for the content and the future pay-per-views as well. And just to break down some of the other details from this deal, we don't know everything about this yet. The only thing we do know is that on March 18th, everything will be switched over from the WWE network to Peacock. The price will remain the same at Peacock, $10 a month for all the Peacock content on top of the WWE content, which is freaking insane. And to us in the States, the WWE network will not work. The app will not work on the 18th. You have to switch over to Peacock. They haven't told us how that'll switch over because Nick and I were proud members of the WWE network universe, and we don't know how exactly our accounts will transfer. We probably have to re-up with Peacock, or they'll credit us a month or something. But to the rest of the world, it'll still be WWE network. To us here in the States, it will be over there on Peacock. And it's everything. And they start with Fastlane. Fastlane will be the first pay-per-view in March that will be on Peacock. Yes, it will be the last show before WrestleMania, and WrestleMania will be on Peacock $10 a month. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah. So first of all, the $1 billion thing blew my damn mind. Like I feel like Vince is sitting there so freaking petty in his office, like, hey, AEW, you might be beating NXT, but look at what we just did.
Yeah.
We can buy your company. Well, probably not. Tony Khan.
Well, no, I think NBC, I mean, no, they can, because, I mean, that money came from Universal's pockets, although we don't like Comcast over here. So the thing with, well, I mean, me in my apartment. So, because I don't have the option to get Comcast in Oklahoma. But the thing
I'm like, why do we not like Comcast here? We don't.
I used to love Comcast as a child. That was one of the few distributors we went to. Either way, no, but NBC Universal is the one that really paid for this thing, and I don't know how that money is distributed back to the company, but $1 billion nonetheless is a ton of cash. Like
so much money.
And Nick, I know we talked about this in the show before, but remember they made all those releases early last year when the pandemic first hit, and they're like, oh, these are budgetary reasons. Shut the hell up, budgetary reasons. You just made $1 billion selling your content to NBC Universal.
Well, it's not even that. This was the WWE's like most profitable year in a very long time.
Yes.
And there was no fans in the freaking audience. Just give it a rest, WWE. We all know that you just had absolutely no plans on your bloated ass roster for Brian Myers, and that's fine. Give him a chance to go over to TNA and do fine, because they're taking him more seriously there. So be it.
Brian Myers, the Good Brothers, now Matt Cardona. Love to see it, right? But still, nonetheless, this is $1 billion deal that came out of freaking nowhere. There have been rumors of WWE finding a streamer to absorb them. That's not news per se, because we've known about that for a while now. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing ever set in stone. Disney wasn't about to come over here and take all that content and it be that sixth tent pole over there at Disney, like Marvel. See,
I was thinking that though. I mean, just like, I'm thinking in my head, like, what if that actually happened? They would have sent it to Hulu though, right?
It would have been a Hulu thing, yeah.
Yeah. Because there was WWE content streaming on Hulu before. Superstars, I think, was, or something like that.
Main event is currently on Hulu, yeah, and they get the reruns of Raw and SmackDown, like an abridged version of the shows. Mm-hmm. But and Peacock and NBC and Universal still have a stake in Hulu. It's just not as big as Disney's. So this whole deal, it's not really something to. We can't speculate about the future of this because we don't know where that money is going to go. Maybe that money is going to bring people back. Maybe they'll use that to try to gain, because although I think wrestling's going to have a renaissance whenever fans come back, maybe they'll use that to properly fill out and properly appeal to the fans to really come back when the pandemic slows down, brother, and we can finally go out and do all this fun stuff.
Or they'll use it to sign a bunch of part-timers that nobody wants, so they can be WWE champion and then leave and sit on their couch so they can avoid the pandemic.
I mean, it's one hell of a theory, Nick. I don't know where you get that from. That it's a lot of money, and the fact that it was NBC Universal. Granted, WWE is no stranger to working with NBC Universal. If I'm not mistaken, NBC they're currently doing that Young Rock series, so they're no strangers to wrestling. And is USA a part of NBC Universal? Yeah, right.
But Macho Man is in Young Rock. I don't know if you saw that.
Ooh, wait, what?
Yeah, Macho. Well, somebody's playing Macho Man.
They're having an actor play Macho Man?
Yeah. I just figured I'd let you know that. I saw it in like an Instagram post or something like that.
What? Okay, I had to look that up. So that, and then Ms. and Mrs., right, and the reality shows, like Total Bellas, Total Divas, all that stuff. Like, I believe it's all under NBC Universal, technically. I believe so.
Probably is, yeah.
So I bet that's all going to funnel under the WWE umbrella that is forming at NBC. But my God, Peacock, bro, that's the move. That's such a move. Yeah.
Dude, like, if there was a takeover happening before the Rumble, which I feel like they're really off on, Jay White would be there, for sure. I would give my wholehearted yes, now that this deal has gone down, that Jay White would be, if the New Japan stuff.
They're throwing all the money at him.
Yes,
Like,
because they can afford to sign Jay White away from New Japan.
They can afford to sign anybody out of anywhere. Because I mean, $1 billion. Like, if you had to put a price tag on WWE's streaming library and their content library, which scopes decades and multiple generations of wrestling, and it's still ongoing, it still adds. WWE is working on so much original content right now that it's all pretty good. I'm not even gonna front. Like a lot of the original stuff, documentaries, 24s, 365s. They're all a lot of fun to watch, and they're all real insightful. Especially if you're a wrestling fan, like us marks over here, brother. But the fact that they're all going to fold that under to NBC, and it's still the same price over there at Peacock. They're just folding it in to the already established $5-10 tiers. $5 with ads, $10 no ads, but you get wrestling this time.
Yeah,
like already.
It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal.
It's a great deal. Like I already was going to invest in Peacock for other reasons that had nothing to do with Wrestle Reel.
Everybody loves Raymond. I know, my friend. I'm also going to be watching it for that too.
But I wanted to get Peacock, and then this happens.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll wait till March. I'll happily wait till March. And once I can start watching like all this wrestling, like WrestleMania, it's like, what should I do now? I'm gonna go watch Parks and Recreation. I'm gonna go watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
There you go. There you go, baby.
So I think this NBC deal, it just was eye-opening into how valuable wrestling can be too. It's not even this could ripple out to other companies. AEW is already making a ton of money for TNT. They're besting NXT every single week in the ratings, and now Cody Rhodes is also making appearances on other Turner Broadcasting programming as well. And now they're bringing in other folks, which we'll get to in a second, which is something I definitely want to talk about.
I actually came up with one for the next segment, by the way, just an FYI.
Like,
well, I was thinking about this. Yeah.
Oh, word. So but to wrap on this NBC thing, I mean, damn, guys, wrestling is going to really go through a renaissance when fans come back. Wrestling's going to be as big as it ever was.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be bigger than that. And I've been praying for this day where wrestling is as big in the pop culture zeitgeist as it was when Stone Cold was a thing, when The Rock was a thing, when
SmackDown had the damn fist. Sorry.
When SmackDown had when they had the fist stage set up like that. Like wrestling was bigger than the weekly shows. These guys were going on talk shows and they were making appearances on all these other things, but only a select few could do that now. You have to be John Cena, you have to be Roman Reigns, you got to be The Rock, you got to be Stone Cold to do something like that.
Yeah. But
now wrestling is obviously worth $1 billion. World Wrestling Entertainment's content library is worth $1 billion. And who's to say that can't happen to AEW? Granted, it won't be $1 billion, but a lot of money nonetheless. But AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, people have been talking about New Japan and their American channel and how they're going to air it over here. Like, this is a good template. Go to a streamer. New Japan, talk to Netflix, talk to whoever the hell, Disney, maybe not Disney, but you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff.
Disney's New Japan tab on there.
Wouldn't it be nuts? It's like Pixar, Marvel, Disney proper, National Geographic, Lucasfilm, and New Japan.
Freaking pro wrestling, baby. Love to see it.
And you just add it on to those $6.99 it's going to be in March. Hell yeah. Just fold in. I would love to be like, I just got done watching The Emperor's New Groove. I'm going to go pop on Wrestle Kingdom 8. That's like, what kind of
shit Disney, you know what you got to do now.
Just buy
that freaking New Japan Pro Wrestling tab on your streaming service that we all have been clamoring for this entire time.
Yeah, this entire 20-some minutes we've been doing Wrestle Reel, we've been clamoring for New Japan to go to Disney.
Right.
And now it's the move. Hashtag NJPW to Disney. 1,000%. But
we're going to start that trending.
I hope so. Look, man. So like I mentioned, like wrestling is getting bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's getting bigger, and now the crossover appeal has definitely been getting bigger, especially on Turner Broadcasting and Turner. I don't know what TNT means, but we've had some people who are not wrestlers call out wrestlers for matches that will also be happening in March. Big month happening in March. But I don't know about you, Nick, but I am terrified of how certain things are going to go. And that's going to lead us into our second count, brother. Woo!
I hit
it. You're good. So, right. Like we mentioned, we missed last week because of some scheduling. And there was something that we were going to dedicate a whole count to. And when we talked about our show notes this week, we're like, yo, let's just expand on that and talk about the horrific things that have been happening and that will probably happen due to what's been going on the last few weeks in pro wrestling. And oh Jesus, like, look, man, okay, like I might as well just start with Randy Orton's burned face and silly mask, right?
Boo. I have to make sure that I get my thing in because I feel like we did not mention it before the show in our 5 minutes that we talked. But yes, silly. Oh God, you know what, WWE, go all out. If you're gonna be doing a freaking burn effect, do this guy right here.
No, my God. Okay, so they do that burn angle with Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton a couple weeks ago, and everyone's like, "Whoa, fireball!" Even though fireballs are so played out, and they drag Triple H into it. And
that was so weird. Why? Why did they have Triple H just wrestle for some reason?
Why do you just have literally anybody else fill that spot and not Randy Orton, like, or not Triple H, right? Like you have Triple H make a special appearance on Monday Night Raw, brother, and he shows up, and Randy Orton provokes him into a match. They book it. It's the main event of that show, and Triple H just vanishes like halfway through the match. The match. And I use that word in air quotes. And he vanishes, and Alexa Bliss shows up, and she freaking throws a fireball in his face. Fireball. Look at that. Like, I mean, okay. Now we're getting greedy because of the Inferno match thing that happened at TLC.
The good match, yeah.
Yeah, we got greedy. We thought, like, let's bring more fire into it. And then then our boy shows up with a stupid skin mask. I don't like that mask. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like that stupid mask.
No, it doesn't. I just bleh.
It's like pantyhose.
Well, and what's crazy is last week on Raw, he doesn't have the mask on.
Right?
Did they just not have time to finish his makeup or something like that? Like, that's what's suspect about it, is like they did the whole face this time, and it doesn't really look that good. I'm going to be honest. But then again, I have been exposed to far better makeup from far better people in this world than that. And that's just kind of surprising because, like, you have a better team out there.
It's a $1 billion company.
It's a $1 billion company. So what we do is just we make him look like Mass Kane. Just do some. You know what they could have done? They could have just smeared some black like kohl on his face, just like they did with Mass Kane.
That would have been better than the bruising that my man had on Raw.
It looks silly. It looks bad. For him to have come out and hit Alexa Bliss with an RKO, saw it coming. If that's what we have in store for Randy Orton, by God, at the Royal Rumble match, you are going to get a on a live edition of Wrestle Real Talk. You are going to get a live reaction of whatever the freaking heck they do to the Fiend, and I'm a bit worried about that now.
Have you seen those rumors of them planning like this terrifying finish to the men's Rumble match? Have you seen that?
Yes, but I know what that means, and we're going to get into it later. It means somebody. I think that it means that So this does fall into a lot of what we are talking about overall, because like the build to the Royal Rumble and these rumors and stuff like that also fall into this disastrous week that was, because now once you hear this terrifying ending to the Royal Rumble, you have to speculate. Is it a scary ending to the Royal Rumble? Does that mean that Randy Orton and Berger are going to be the final two people in the match? Does it mean that, and then the Fiend is going to come out and take him to the Firefly Funhouse for a Firefly Funhouse match that's pretty obviously happening at WrestleMania, unless they bring Edge back just to face against him? Here's my thing. I think personally that terrifying doesn't mean scary. I think that terrifying means Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble level of terrifying. And I don't mean that he's going to win it this year. I don't think that he's going to win it this year. I mean that in the sense of we as fans, or as WWE as a company, should be lucky that fans aren't there, because we're not going to like the winner. That's what I think that it is, which is why I think that I'm going to say my prediction in the next segment. But if you're watching right now, live or not, tune into the next segment so you can figure out why I think that it's going to be a terrifying finish. But let's talk about the Royal Rumble for a second. This is something that we did not mention. This is something that takes away the mystique of said Royal Rumble. WWE is doing the smart thing. They're even bringing freaking Renee Young back.
For backstage.
A backstage.
No
Not
CM
backstage.
Punk.
No CM Punk. Really? Oh, okay. I thought the CM Punk was going to be there.
It's Paige, Booker T brother.
Love him.
And what's it called? Renee Paquette.
So WWE is doing the interesting thing of announcing the Women's Royal Rumble match first two participants. Cool. That's fine. If I know who, drawing number one used to be a storyline type thing where Rey Mysterio draws number one, Eddie Guerrero switches with JBL, and I don't think he drew number one, but you know what I mean.
The first two picks used to be like they were two guys who can go, like, because they start the match, right? Jericho and Ziggler, or freaking who was 1 and 2 at was it Fudge Ripple, Taker and Shawn Michaels, right? Like that's some type of shit that would be put on a pedestal. But now with what's going on, that said, the sacred number 30 spot for the men's is going to be revealed on Backstage. Sorry, headphone user. But still, what the hell? What are they doing? Number 30 used to be the most important thing. And sure, don't get me wrong, we have been disappointed as hell by 30 spots before. Yeah. That said, what are they doing? If it's someone cool, don't tell me. If it's someone disappointing, way to ease me into this Rumble, right? If you have to tread lightly and we should just tell them who we have in 30 just so they don't be disappointed. It's like, then what the hell? Because what it's going to be. It's like, Bobby Lashley is coming out at 30. You know what that sets up for me? Disappointment of the surprise entrances for the rest of the show, because they can't match whoever comes out at 30. Now, backstage is a very interesting thing, because CM Punk is on Backstage and they just had a $1 billion deal. Just kidding. Obviously, CM Punk is never coming back to the WWE. You freaking trash can marks out there. But that said, that's me. I am the. I am too. Trust me. But not to call anybody out here. But listen, CM Punk ain't coming back. I wanted to be like, hey, there's hope. They could give him the $1 billion. No. Yeah. That said, I think that this it pisses me off. I'm gonna try and avoid it, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to. I follow a bunch, my explore page has become like sad BoJack Horseman memes, regular memes, random friggin' TikTok girls doing the Buss It challenge that I didn't even watch, so I don't know why they're showing up. And don't lie. Don't lie.
I did not. The wrestling ones are the funnier ones because their boyfriends always end up popping up. I don't know if you saw Keith Lee just standing there mean mugging the camera like
That was funny.
It happened with Dakota Kai as well. That said, I know that I'm not going to be able to avoid this, and I'm probably going to be disappointed by it. I just don't get why they're doing this. Like, when is that? Tomorrow? Has it happened?
It's either tonight after SmackDown or it's tomorrow. I don't know exactly. Or it's before Sunday. I just know it's before Sunday. There's no way it's happened already. We would have found out who number 30 would have been.
Right.
But to your point, Nick, like I'll play devil's advocate this one time in regards to this. I wouldn't go into the Rumble saying I know who 30 is, so I'm gonna be bummed by the rest of the surprise entrances because Edge last year he was like number 21 or something.
Yeah, of course.
And he blew the roof off of a roofless Minute Maid Park. You know, it was crazy as hell. And that honestly, like, I don't like them just washing down number 30. Because to your point, like, oh, who's been number 30? Like Undertaker was number 30 when he won. John Cena was number 30 when he won. Granted, he came off 4 months off of like tearing every muscle on his body. But like number 30 used to be like, holy shit, who is it? And then
it was special.
Like, yeah. And then I mean, also WWE's last decade of Rumbles hasn't been the best. Like, besides the 18-1, which I think has been their best in recent memory, like, what other ones would you even point out? Like, let's go from 2009 forward.
Oh, God.
Which one of those would you even pick out? Like 2010?
Did Edge come out at 30?
He came out at 29. No, he was 30. Yeah, he was 30.
That's an important one.
And he won. Yeah, I think he was 29 or 30.
Cena.
No, Batista was 30. Was Batista 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, Batista was 30 that year. Edge was 29. Yeah.
And listen, this my dismay for this is probably going to be nothing. It's probably going to be like, Jay White is number 30. And I would be like, whoa, WWE, don't do that.
Backstage, that I'd be pissed off at. If it's someone who's not in the company right now, to our knowledge, if it's like, yo, number 30 is going to be freaking, I don't know.
Otis? I don't know. It's probably going to be Otis.
It's little Jimmy. So that's my thing. That's my thing, right? I don't want number 30. As much as I hate it being washed down, I totally understand your POV. But my problem is I just don't want them to announce people's places early. I had a problem with them announcing Edge. Edge coming back.
I didn't, and the reason why is because like if he's going to come back, I want it to be a surprise, or I don't necessarily need this one to be a surprise.
Sure.
Because why waste a surprise entrant on Edge when we already know that he's been? You know, I thought that the promo that he cut in the empty ring was just beautiful. Loved the way that it was shot. Like, it was really cool.
Can't wait to see Edge come back.
Well, yeah, and that's my big thing. It's like I'm not in a place where an Edge return or knowing about Edge returning is disappointing because of what happened last year. Like, if it was this year and then they had just like randomly cut to Edge in a freaking stool in the wrestling ring, I'd be like, holy crap. I'm like, wait, is it because there's no fans? Like, why would you do that? And listen, WWE is running into a thing. And by the way, I completely forgot about this, but Adam Blampier didn't have Big E in the Rumble at all. So that was kind of weird.
Really?
If I remember correctly. You know, my big thing, I don't expect a lot of returns this year. I expect a couple of. I fully expect Damian Priest to show up. Yeah, it's just like and he might be the 30th entrant for all we know.
It could be an NXT. It could be Adam Cole.
They're doing it to spark ratings for backstage, and that is smart on their end. Do I like it? Not whatsoever. I just don't. I don't like it.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I don't want granted, I don't know who number 30 is anyway, but just because we're finding out, and we will, although I'm not gonna watch backstage, we will still find out about it because, like you said, social media can be the worst sometimes, and they're gonna tell us nonetheless. But to switch gears for a second, away from WWE, I want to go to AEW.
Yes, AEW.
AEW. Two things stick out in my brain for the last couple weeks. We know Sting's gonna start wrestling again.
Gross.
And
also, my computer is dying if I step away for a second.
Word. No, you're fine. So Sting's gonna be wrestling again, and he's gonna be in a tag team street fight, or I'm assuming it's tornado tag street fight.
It has to be.
And it will be Darby Allin versus Sting, or Darby Allin and Sting versus Brian Cage and what's his name? I forgot his name. Ricky Starks.
Okay.
So,
and by the way, we actually have a comment. We haven't had a comment all show. Dylan Wang expects 2 returns at the Men's Royal Rumble. Dylan, if you want to leave them in the comments, if you want to leave who you think they are in the comments, we would love to hear them. But sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Darby Allin.
No, we'll talk to Rumble in our third count. But yes, let us know who you have.
I just wanted to preface that we know you're out there.
Hell yeah, Dylan. Welcome to Wrestle Real. So, Darby Allin and Sting versus freaking Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. Tornado tag street fight, because the only way you can get these old ass men to work is if you do a gimmick match of some kind. I don't want to see Sting die. I don't.
It's gonna be pre-taped, right?
No, I don't. They could do it cinematically. I think it would be better if it's cinematic, or at least most of it's cinematic.
Have him appear as a crow or something. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to see Sting.
Stop.
I like Sting. I like Sting in AEW. I do. I like the aesthetic. I like the snow. It's really cool. They did a nice twist on the Sting character. But I'm not a fan of my man wrestling.
Nope.
Why is he wrestling? He doesn't need to wrestle. I know Sting wants to.
Because he wants to. That's it.
Yeah, and I know, and I know, man. But I'm not okay. Not gonna lie.
Neither am I. It's okay.
I'm still not.
You said that I'm not okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Yes. No. The Matt Hardy head injury.
I'm not over that yet. It made it really, really bad. They were doing really, really well up until All Out of this past year, and then then that happened. So I'm not. Oh God. And it's Brian Cage. Brian Cage is a big ass dude, and Ricky Starks.
He worries me.
Like I'm scared something's gonna happen to Sting. And when we put horrors at the bottom of the screen, like Sting wrestling scares the shit out of me. It's January. It's late January. Halloween is not for another 9 months. 9 months.
It's been well documented though that you have been terrified of this.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like when I saw Sting get buckle bombed by Seth Rollins at Night of Champions, I watched that happen. I was like, oh no, my man, hell. I'm like, no, I don't want anything bad to happen to Sting. It's a fan of Sting being worried about the guy, the person, Sting, and I'm just scared. I'm really, really scared. And the second thing I wanted to highlight from All Elite Wrestling is for some reason Shaquille O'Neal is a part of the Turner family, and he's been rumored to be wrestling in the last few months, which I don't understand why. But now, at this past Wednesday's, like Bleacher Report, AEW Awards, I don't know what those were, but they existed. And they had Shaq call out Cody Rhodes for a match in March. Nick Molbach, I beg the question to you. Give me 2 reasons why I shouldn't be looking forward to this match. It's 2, Dylan, 100%.
What? Tell you 2 reasons why you should be looking forward to it.
I shouldn't.
Oh, you shouldn't be looking forward to it
because I'm not gonna lie.
Because it's Shaquille O'Neal wrestling a wrestler who could be doing something way better. Because it's Shaquille O'Neal, who matched up well with the Big Show and couldn't. It's Shaquille O'Neal, who has 0 wrestling training. It's Shaquille O'Neal because Cody Rhodes deserves better. even though he's probably pulling the strings on this. It's because, and good on him for doing so, because it's all for ratings. But it's just like, go, because this match is all for ratings.
Cross promo. Hell yeah, brother.
I mean, like, and here's the thing. It's like, you know, I love the TNT crew for basketball. But like, do I want like Cody Rhodes out of nowhere to hop on there and attack him? I don't want not Cody really
Rhodes working Ernie, Kenny, and Chuck on inside the NBA.
He could smack Chuck Barkley in the friggin' face for all I care. I don't want to hear about it. Like, that's fine. But like, I don't want to. I just, man.
They can work the shit out of us and have Cody beat the hell out of Shaquille O'Neal.
It's not happening.
It will happen. It will happen. Oh. It'd be awesome. But look, what's going on, Ooga Booga? So my thing is, I love Shaq. I love Cody Rhodes. I'm looking at my AEW Cody Rhodes fig over there as we speak. So
Chris loves this match. He can't wait.
I'm gonna watch the frick out of this. Am I scared? What's going on, Z Marnie? Yes.
I don't even know why I'm adding those comments on. I just thought it was funny.
No, it's scary, bro. We're talking about some scary shit over here.
Ooga booga. Right. Yes, that.
I don't want Shaq to get hurt or Cody to get hurt because he has to really carry Shaq in this match. Possibly.
You might have to carry Shaq. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
nobody
heard about
wants this.
Are you kidding me? Like, oh god, this could be bad. Like, and I know they're doing it for ratings. Shaquille O'Neal's been teasing wrestling for over a decade now.
The problem that I have though is you're eliminating the actual wrestling proponent of it because Brandy is pregnant, which good for her. Like, we love it. But it's just like,
congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations, and Renee. And congratulations, something that I just wanted to check Twitter to make sure that like we were live and everything. Congratulations to Stu Bennett on becoming a freaking American citizen.
Yeah. A lot of cool shit going on around the wrestling world that has nothing to do with wrestling.
No.
A lot of other stuff going on.
But like but like I feel like there was a wrestling element there with I pardon me for not remembering the name of the person who's been like Shaquille O'Neal's like voice on AEW.
I'll look her up because I love her promos. I'm looking her up.
Like, I feel like there was a wrestling element there that's now gone from it that would probably distract from the fact that Shaquille O'Neal cannot wrestle. And for all I know, remember when Pat McAfee came out and was limber and was fantastic as a wrestler?
McAfee was a surprise to everybody.
Hey, maybe Shaquille O'Neal. Sorry. Maybe Shaq will. I can't even say it. Maybe Shaq will actually surprise me. I doubt it. No offense to Shaq.
It's Jade Cargill. That's her name. Great promo, by the way. Great. I love her promos.
Always, yes. But it's just like, maybe Shaq will surprise me, but come on.
I will be pessimistic. Otherwise,
Shaq couldn't even beat Aaron Carter, and look at how he turned out. So, like, come on.
I will be pessimistic on this. I'm still gonna watch it because I love both people involved, but I'm gonna cool it. I'm still scared, man. Nonetheless.
Boo.
And the last thing I think we're gonna mention before we cross over to our third count.
Something else that's probably scary is our third count. But go on.
You mentioned, our entire third count can be scary. But you mentioned earlier, Nick, not only earlier in this fall, but our first fall as well, that there's a part-timer whose name I shall not utter until we get to the third count that can really make some waves this Sunday, and neither one of us are ready for it. But let's just talk about the Rumble. Rip the Band-Aid off. My God. Oh, Jesus. I'm not looking forward to this.
I was pulling up a quote as I forgot which way to scroll for the third count.
So let's talk Rumble. The Royal Rumble is this Sunday. And Nick, let's just rip the damn Band-Aid off. Who you got? Drew McIntyre and Goldberg. But before you answer that, are you even interested in watching this shit? Are you even interested
in watching Goldberg versus
Drew McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre? Not really. I think that we're gonna just have a heavy amount of fun, random talking and joking during that match because Drew's going to win. Drew's going to win. Don't hold me to it, but Drew is going to win. And if Drew doesn't win and my finish to the Rumble happens, Jesus, are we in trouble? But okay, so I just want to read the WrestleVotes tweet that
Sure.
I just want to read this. Sorry for the lack of details here, but still noteworthy in my opinion. Had a brief conversation earlier with a source regarding the men's Royal Rumble match. They said, quote, there is a finish that scares the death out of me. And it's legitimately getting heavily considered. Yikes.
Oh, okay. So this whole night could be a mess.
It's going. I cannot wait for it to turn into one.
I know we talked about we're doing Wrestle Real Talk, which we are doing this Sunday. When's the Rumble start? 7 o'clock your time, 6 mine?
Yes.
I'm scared for Dylan weighing in the chat. I'm scared for the Rumble. So much potential, but it's gonna fail. We'll get there.
And Dylan, this Sunday, join us on the channel. We're gonna be watching the Royal Rumble, and I don't know. I haven't even considered
winning the men's one.
No, the women's. Wait. Alexa Bliss winning the men's one?
There's so much going on right now.
And Dylan is going to be here Sunday. Dylan, thank you. But
what's going on, Dylan?
What? Okay, that does blow my mind. Oh my gosh.
Before we tackle that, for those who don't know, Wrestle Real Talk is a show we've done once before, where it's sort of like our regular Real Talk show, where we talk about a lot about the latest and greatest in movie news, but then we will only do that for about half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on the start time of the show, and the topics we have at hand, and then we'll cross over into our Royal Rumble watch along. We will not have it on screen because of legal reasons. We will all be watching it, but we'll be on here and chatting about it as the show progresses.
And we will also have our TVs at a low volume or our microphones pointing away from the TV because we lost our Facebook feed. And sorry, Jesus.
What show was that for? What show we do that for?
It was the Undertaker's entrance music that got us.
It was Survivor Series. Yeah,
Survivor Series, yes.
Yeah, we don't get to do Wrestle Real Talk too often. We probably save it for the big shows, if anything. So join us this Sunday, and it's gonna be around like 5:15, 5:30 Central Time. So just keep an eye out on.
I would say Wrestle Real Talk kind of happened by accident the first time because it was the day after the Twilight watch along.
It was definitely an accident, but Nick and I liked it so much we wanted to do it again.
Absolutely. So, for the Royal Rumble, it's the best pay-per-view of the year. Sorry, don't have it.
At least hopefully it's going to be the best pay-per-view of the year. But yeah, just follow us on social media for more updates, and or keep an eye on the channel on Sunday. We'll have a time for Wrestle Real Talk on Sunday.
All you got
5:15, 5:30 Central Time, 6:15, 6:30 Eastern Time for my boy. So let's address what Dylan said in the chat, right? Dylan, did you mean Bliss winning the?
She said she. I meant she is in regards to Alexa Bliss. He said Bliss will enter the men's Rumble and take out Orton. Now I will say that there have been WWE has been kind of alluding to the idea that Alexa Bliss has been possessed by the Fiend, through some really stupid editing cuts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's no way.
Do you think that that's like an Ellsworth type ending of winning the or do you think that or do you think that Alexa Bliss turns into the Fiend? Because if the Fiend wins the Royal Rumble, I'm not mad. I'm wearing his freaking hat, because this beard clown demon creature has merch. But it's
Fiend marks, brother. Hell yeah.
We are. If the Fiend wins the Royal Rumble, you're gonna see me flipping a shit because, like I said, my winner of the Royal Rumble is not the Fiend. My winner of the Royal Rumble is the guy who squashed the Fiend. We'll get into that. But okay, so we're compose ourselves here for a second. We are starting out because I do want to kind of because we're only at an hour. We'll run through the card real quick.
We can stretch.
We can talk about what we think this horror or this terrifying ending is because Dylan.
Sure.
Ow! I just stepped on my cord. Dylan in the comments did bring up an interesting point with this whole Alexa Bliss thing. Do I want to watch Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg? No. Will we be memeing the hell out of it during Wrestle Real Talk? I hope so. Will Drew McIntyre win? He better.
Dude, are we going to lock in our predictions now for McIntyre Goldberg? Okay, so I gotta. Okay. My mind wants to tell you that I think Drew McIntyre is going to win on Sunday. I really want to tell you that. If I could, I would. But I'm fucking terrified of Goldberg coming in the first quarter of the year like he did last year, beating whoever the champion is, taking it to WrestleMania and losing there to whoever they want to put over.
See, but that's my worry. Is that if he
are they going to feed Goldberg McIntyre after
I'm about 75% sure that Drew is winning this match. And whether it's a squash or whether it's an actual match as Goldberg can give at this point, I don't think Goldberg wins this match. I think that Keith Lee or Sheamus faces against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. That's my prediction right now.
I hope you are right.
And Drew beats Sheamus. Drew, we'll get to it if it happens with Keith Lee.
Okay.
But yeah, I will predict Drew.
I want it to be true so bad. I want it to be true so bad. There's no way they can keep Goldberg around, right? No.
There is. And we'll get to that later. But go on.
I'm going to say McIntyre. I want your optimism to take over my part of the screen.
It's not optimism. It's
it's inevitability.
It's inevitability. Yes. So let's just.
I'll say McIntyre. That's my pick.
Let's go over this really quickly because there's some pretty obvious ones. Roman's beating Kevin Owens, right?
Unfortunately, yes. He's gonna kill Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is murdered.
Drew's obviously beating Goldberg. Okay, so Raw Women's Tag Team Champions. I personally think that Lacey Evans is going to do something to ruin this match. And
who are they fighting?
Shayna and Nia. I think Shayna and Nia are going to become 2-time women's tag team champions.
Yes, I agree. Get the belt off Asuka and Charlotte. Bad decision from the jump.
Yes. Let's just. There's one more match that no. There's 2 more matches. I for some reason thought Belair versus Bayley was happening, but I think that's happening tonight on SmackDown in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the women's one because the men's one is always the interesting one, and that's where the horror finish. That's where the horror finish is coming because there's. Yeah. I think that the women's match goes first.
I think so too.
I think that the women's match opens the show potentially.
Did they open the show last year with it? I want to say they did.
Maybe. I think that's a habit that they're going to get themselves into unless Ronda Rousey comes back.
Sure. I will be surprised if the women's won main events. I'll say that.
So here's what I'll say. Here's my bold prediction. Okay. If the women's Royal Rumble match goes last, Ronda Rousey is winning.
Ooh!
If the women's Royal Rumble match goes at any other time, okay. So I've been thinking it's either going to be I will stick
an Iron Woman and give me a pick.
I'll stick with Bianca Belair for both, though I think Rhea Ripley for the winner is a close second. I can see why people would be like Rhea Ripley should win it. Rhea Ripley can win it. nobody from NXT has won a Royal Rumble before coming to the main roster at first. And I think that out of all the people, out of all the matches, that's going to be your ticket into that, or at least starting that trend potentially. Okay, you know what? Forget it. I think Rhea Ripley's going to win the Royal Rumble. I think that Bianca Belair will be the Iron Woman.
Mine's the inverse. I think if you want to start hot, you start with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, the NXT call-up, she's going to be on the main roster going forward, presumably, after her loss to Raquel Gonzalez on NXT programming. So now bring her up to the main roster where she deserves to be. And you have Rhea Ripley last it for a very long time just to get eliminated by Charlotte, and you carry that feud going forward because Rhea never got her comeuppance against Charlotte. She never did. At least in a solo one-on-one capacity. So Bianca's winning this damn thing. How can you? I mean, I totally understand the Rhea Ripley pick. I really do. But in my brain, the only thing I can't compute is Bianca Belair winning the Rumble. Because after rewatching I rewatched a lot of Bianca Belair stuff the last few weeks, and I've come like Sasha Banks is my favorite women's wrestler right now as we stand. Bianca Belair is like right there. Like, yes. I love watching Bianca Belair so much. Even at NXT, I'm like, I'm a fan. I stand. Like, I'm such a mark for Bianca Belair. It's not even funny. But seeing her at the Rumble this week is going to be, or this Sunday is going to be really interesting. Where she goes in, that's why I'm saying that Rhea Ripley should be the Iron Woman. Because Bianca came in early last year. I don't want her to come early again. So I want Bianca. Bianca can be like middle of the pack, like 15, 16, like in the teens. Give me something in the teens, and she can stick it out through the end. And she can eliminate Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, whoever the hell. It'd probably be Charlotte, because Charlotte's the one that had eliminated her last year. So I really do think it should be Bianca, and that'll carry over. You buy some time until you can get to the Rumble or to WrestleMania with her and Sasha Banks. And you should not have them wrestle each other until WrestleMania.
And I do agree. I do agree that chances are great she should win. My opposite dark horse pick to that would be Bayley wins and we get a really good payoff match between Bayley and Sasha.
If we're adding a dark horse, because if it's not Bianca, it should be Rhea. If it's not Rhea, who can you push like that right now?
Let's look at this real quick. Breaking news from Dylan that we just did not know about.
Look at Trish Stratus' Twitter.
She just tweeted something like, this is going to impact my Royal Rumble week or something like that. What if we get I think so. But what if we get Charlotte versus Trish?
We already got that.
Did we?
We got it
in the match, right? Or
did it happen? It was a match, I believe. Oh. Yeah, it was. I think so. If the Women's Rumble is second, it's the second one that Charlotte's winning. They're not gonna have Charlotte win back to back.
No, I don't think so. I will agree that the three picks, the two picks should be Rhea or Bianca.
She's working the hell out of us, by the way. Trish Stratus. My dark horse.
Let's get ready. Network is joining us. You don't see Charlotte winning, probably. I see Becky come out at number 27. Is she ready though? That's the question.
That's a great question. If she's ready to come back.
If she's ready to come back, I want to see her back. I don't think she wins the match.
I don't think she wins either, but damn, I forgot about Becky.
I think they bring Asuka back to prominence by having her face Becky at WrestleMania.
Their match last year was incredible.
Because I think that Asuka's kind of lost in the shuffle right now of all things, and she's the freaking Raw Women's Champion. Her matches are being either shadowed by Lacey Evans versus Charlotte, or they're being shadowed by The Fiend versus Randy Orton. I think she needs something here.
Damn, I want a dark horse, but I can't. I like the Bayley one a lot. I think Bayley deserves to win a Rumble at some point in her career, but it won't be this year. But if it should be one of Bianca or Rhea, but screw us, WWE is they do whatever they want. But she's a face now because she's a mom. she'll be cheered regardless of when she shows up.
There's no fans, so will she actually be cheered or not? She'll be cheered. It's a surprise return. I mean,
yeah, she'll get. I mean, the pop would be insane.
We'll pop.
Yeah, on here when we do Real Talk on Sunday, like I'll pop like a mofo. But until then, seeing Becky come back, we did see a picture of Becky. She's training again. So does that allude to a wrestling return anytime soon? We'll see. When Seth comes back in a full time capacity, then I'll buy into Becky coming back. But maybe not this Sunday. I'll be surprised if we see Becky this Sunday.
Moving on then to the men's Royal Rumble match. Let's
shoot me.
Let's break this down a little bit right here because we have a few things to talk about.
Yeah.
And one of them is the point that you just made. I think that what's his name? Seth Rollins is coming back.
Word. Respect.
I don't think that John Cena is coming back.
He's doing Peacemaker right now. He's not going to do it.
I think Cena will be back for Mania, but there's no point in setting up a feud with him right now.
He doesn't need to be at the Rumble. He doesn't.
No, because again, I think Jack the Jobber made a point on Cultaholic News today to say if Cena came back, it's either setting up a feud for the WrestleMania, which you wouldn't do within the Royal Rumble match, in my opinion, at least.
Sure.
Or it's, or like he's winning, which I don't think he's going to win the match.
No, don't win. No, I'm telling you, don't
win. Frankly, if John Cena won I'll do a hot take right here. If John Cena won the men's Royal Rumble, it would be a lot better than who I'm picking. That's my hot pick.
Out of the part-timers, of course, Cena's the one I'll have a less visceral reaction to. But I think that Cena coming back, if he were to, because he's currently in Canada shooting a TV show for DC and HBO Max. But if he does come back just for the one match, then okay. But he shouldn't win. And it should be to set up something dope, something cool, but nothing more, nothing less. Just give me some cool shit.
So, oh boy. All right. Let's get to the nitty and the gritty of it.
Just rip the Band-Aid off, dude.
The reason why I think that Goldberg is going to lose to Drew McIntyre is because I think that he's going to come out, he's going to win the men's Royal Rumble, and he's going to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and will not win. Where we will finally get the spear versus spear match that everybody wanted. Think about it, my friend. It was supposed to be the match last year. It was.
I forgot which one of us said it on the show a couple weeks ago, but this has already been out. This has been out in the Wrestle Real ether. Like we've been having this on the brain for the last few weeks, and the craziest part is this is one of my 4 likely outcomes.
Yeah, but that I think is one of the terrifying outcomes.
I'm going to win this. 1 of 4 people will win this match. Goldberg being one of them. And it's so upsetting to me that Goldberg is going to do what Becky Lynch did last year, lose the title match, come back later and win, or not last year, 2019, and win the damn Rumble.
Should I guess who your other 3 are?
Go, please, by all means. Hint, we've said their names throughout the course of the show.
Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, Keith Lee.
No. You're missing one. Instead of Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, Brock. Okay. Yeah. I could see Brock. But
I like Daniel Bryan winning this Rumble. He won the greatest Royal Rumble, but I don't care.
Did he?
Did he?
No, he didn't.
No, he was the Iron
Braun
Man.
Strowman and Mansoor won the greatest Royal Rumbles, my friend. You have to remember that.
He was the Iron Man.
Hopefully Mansoor comes out and wins the Royal Rumble this year.
I like that better than Goldberg.
I like Mansoor, by the way. I think his promo cutting skills are actually pretty freaking good.
You're a Mansoor stan, dude.
I do like Mansoor. I do like Mansoor. I want him to do well. Or like I'm just hopeful for him to do well, I guess. But
you're a mark. You're a mark for Mansoor. It's totally
fine.
fine.
I'm a Mansoor mark. Sue me. But
I ain't suing you.
But right now he's on 205 Live. He will go nowhere with his career. But it's just, man, I just yeah. I really want Braun did win. Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mansoor won the other one. So
even Suge has freaking Ronda winning.
Yes.
Or Ronda coming out at this Rumble.
But
damn,
like
am I
said,
the only one not having Ronda show up this weekend?
If she's been doing wrestling training, here's the thing with Ronda will win. We will know who wins because, in my opinion, like I love Bianca Belair, but she's not there yet where she would win it in the main event, right?
Sure.
Right?
No,
like I'm not trying to be that guy because I do love. I think Bianca Belair, like. I think that out of the three of like the Street Profits and Bianca Belair, that Bianca Belair will probably have the biggest career out of all of them because
most upside out
right.
of all three.
I think that she is like she's incredibly talented, but this men's Royal Rumble match is so unpredictable for the wrong reasons right now. In my opinion, there's two picks. It's either Rhea Ripley or it's Bianca Belair if it goes. There's three picks. Bailey's a dark horse, but it's either Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley if it goes towards the beginning of the show, or it's Ronda Rousey if it ends it.
If Ronda shows up,
there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that if I'm going to call it right now. I will eat crow later if I need to, like Chris Anthony Lopez says all the time. I will eat crow if I need. If I will eat crow if I need to, but if the women's Royal Rumble match main events, all predictions go out the window, and Ronda is going to win it.
I will double down on what you just said. Like we'll both come on this show next week and eat a bunch of crow in our little crow bowl.
If the women's match main events and they have Belair win, holy crap, WWE, good job out of you.
I will lose my mind.
But if it main events, it's Ronda. Right?
And it'll piss me off because I want Bianca to win so bad. But this men's one to me is, I don't want to say it's the most interesting. And Dylan's with me. I don't have Ronda coming in this weekend. I haven't put her in my brain. But
now that she's there, you're kind of like,
I'm still saying my Bianca decision. But this men's one. So to me, it's between four people. You mentioned Goldberg already. Goldberg, that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario to me is Keith Lee. Keith Lee should be like, since he got brought up from NXT, he's gotten the shaft. What the has been going on with Keith Lee? Seriously, like he's been just floating in the mid card and getting championship matches, but how many matches has my man done that he's ended in disqualification?
Too many.
I don't even want to talk about Keith Lee's win-loss record and how many of those wins are disqualification wins. But Keith Lee, if you really want to reinvigorate this man's main roster career, you give him this Rumble win, dominate, and you have him show the F up. And if you still include Lesnar or Goldberg, have him freaking eliminate them. Like he got eliminated by Lesnar last year, have him return the favor this year.
When Lesnar was like, "Who the hell's this guy?"
Yeah, like. But like you knew that Brock liked him because he was selling for him like a motherfucker. So Brock only sells for the people he likes. So to me, best case scenario is Keith Lee. After that, it's Daniel Bryan. Like if this is truly Daniel Bryan's last full-time run with WWE, you give him that damn Rumble win. You can give Keith Lee the one next year.
He doesn't beat Roman, by the way, though. He
doesn't. No. Or Bryan crosses over shows and he wrestles Drew McIntyre, and I really like this. I love to see that match, honestly.
Yeah.
Lesnar. Lesnar's the next one to me. I don't like it. Lesnar ruined last year's Rumble to me. He ruined it. It was only the first half, and then Edge came later, and everyone immediately forgot what just happened with Lesnar. But I think
Yes, because our boy Rick O'Shea low blowed him.
Yeah, he took him to Dick Kick City, and then Drew McIntyre, freaking what's that move called? The
Claymore kick.
He Claymored the shit out of him. Again, Lesnar sold the hell out of that. He likes Drew McIntyre. So
he does.
Brock's my third one, and then Goldberg. For what you just said, Goldberg. It upsets me that we're having this conversation. It does legitimately make my blood boil, and I'm pissed. It makes me not want to do Wrestle Real Talk on Sunday because I will get fucking angry. Like I
can't wait for it because it's gonna happen. Sorry, my friend. I am locking in on Goldberg, and I'm locking in on Bianca Belair, even though I changed my mind about 3 times.
Give me an Iron Man for the men's one before I give mine.
Keith Lee.
Gotcha. I do want to spotlight Dylan Wang in the chat. He mentioned this a few minutes ago. He says my surprises are either Cena, Mahal, Nick's a big Jinder Mahal mark, Triple H, Lesnar, Carlito, and
Dude, I am such a Carlito stan. Dude, if Carlito came back,
if I heard I'll spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool, I'll pop like a motherfucker.
Oh my gosh, dude, you and I, like, we will virtually, like, yeah, just like hug each other.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, that'd be so exciting if Carlito came back. Out of all the names you just mentioned, Dylan, the saddest part is that Carlito would have the biggest pop out of me.
Yeah,
like, even if CM Punk won't happen in the Rumble. If it did, Dylan, I will lose. You'll see me melt on where
I live on the 2nd floor of my house. I will jump out the window.
Dylan also says people really think Punk's coming back. WWE has the money for Punk because of the Peacock deal. Sure. And CM Punk's gone on record saying it would cost a lot of money for him to come back and wrestle for WWE. I don't know how much a lot of money is to a wrestler.
$1 billion.
They did it. I mean, sky's the limit. So I will lock in my picks for the Women's Rumble one more time. Belair will win. Rhea Ripley will be the Iron Woman. And for the men's one, probably gonna be wrong. Keith Lee will win the Royal Rumble. See, I don't believe the words I'm saying. Oh God. It won't be Bryan. As much as I want it to be Daniel Bryan, I don't think it will. And with the fans, oh God damn it, there's no fans there.
That's why
Keith Lee's in the Royal Rumble. The Iron Man's gonna be Daniel Bryan.
I mean, here's the deal, though. I know that they're gonna get a lot of backlash for it online. But if Goldberg is there and wins the Royal Rumble, you know how much crowd noise you can pump in for cheering? Edge is winning. Oh my, Dylan.
Whoa, what? Dylan coming in hot with the Edge pick?
Damn. Okay.
Dylan coming in hot. Yo, Dylan, if Edge wins, who you have him facing at WrestleMania? Roman Reigns? Spear versus Spear with Edge and Roman Reigns?
Edge Drew McIntyre would be really good.
Edge McIntyre would be dope as fuck. Yo,
what a name! Edge is the greatest name.
Oh, the man said Edge Reigns, Spear v Spear. That's you know what? I don't want to switch my pick. Edge already won the
Rumble. No, sorry.
No, I don't want to take your pick. I don't want to take your pick, bro.
Dylan, we want you live in the comments if Edge wins, like just screaming at us, like yeah.
Yeah, like if
I'm right, you're wrong.
Props to you, Dylan.
Dylan, I'd invite you on the show, but you're like the only person watching this right now. So like, I need you in the audience, but still, like
we love you, Dylan. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for watching this entire time. We appreciate it very much. But still, like I said, I'd invite you on the show, but you're the only person watching this right now, and hopefully you're not the only person watching it later. But yes, like, oh my gosh, Jam, this Royal Rumble is gross and. Ugh, it's making me feel sick just thinking about it.
I'm not looking forward to this. I was talking to my friend Victor. My homie Victor Albane will be joining us for Wrestle Real Talk this Sunday.
And some of the guys from the show might be joining us too, by the way.
Yeah, Connor Breedlove.
I think Connor, maybe Taylor.
Yeah, we'll see. Just
Dylan's giving us Dream Final 3, by the way, right now in the comments.
Oh hell. Oh man, don't tell me the hot takes. My dream final three.
That said, it's probably going to be.
Are you talking about? I think Dylan's talking about Punk, Edge, and Reigns.
I think it would be Punk, Edge, and Carlito is probably what he's thinking. Because Dylan coming in hot with the Carlito prediction. I want Carlito. I want Carlito to come back full time. When I was younger, I said it on the show. Carlito was my WWE champion at one point. So let's do it. I'm locking in Carlito as my pick to win the Royal Rumble. Edge, Punk, Cena. Okay,
Edge, Punk, Cena.
Edge, Punk, Cena. What year is this? Would be the words that come out of my mouth when that happens. Then that happens. But
my dream final three. Edge, Punk, Cena. Yeah, being this year's final three. That's wow. So my thing.
Are we going with final threes here? Because you give your hopeful final three, I will give my disappointing final three.
I will give my optimistic final three. Brian, Lee. Actually, screw it, Lesnar.
Dude, you just predicted Adam Blampier's final three of the Royal Rumble in his video.
Lesnar will be in it, but I think Keith Lee will be like, doop. Like
that's really exactly what he said too.
He do like doop.
Not like that, no. But and mine is Brian Lee Goldberg.
Oh, that hurts my face.
Because Goldberg's gonna win the Royal Rumble. Again, what year is this? Is this 2021 and Goldberg's winning the Royal Rumble? Has Goldberg ever won the Royal Rumble?
No.
There you go. Another milestone.
My face will look like Randy Orton's by the end of the night. Like I will.
You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be Goldberg. It's gonna be. Here's what it's going to be. Oh. You remember the year Roman Reigns won. Rey Mysterio came out at 30, and we were all just.
That's Dylan's final three this year. Lee, Bryan, Edge. I like how we all have Keith Lee and Daniel Bryan.
But here's the issue: is that we're gonna be so excited. We're gonna be like, Daniel Bryan has his finest moment right here, and he is going to win the Royal Rumble. But then Goldberg crushes our dreams. If the fans were in the audience, I think actual trash would be thrown at Goldberg.
I think
Goldberg's going to eliminate Daniel Bryan,
would implode,
and our hearts are going to shatter into a million pieces. Because I'm such a good person and an optimist, and I love everything.
Alcohol may be required to watch that one match. One. Depending on who you ask.
I'm gonna hold my zombie tight. I'm gonna let out a big old squeak, and I'm probably gonna. Well, I won't have my zombie friend in my hands, because if I have my zombie friend in my hands, I might pop him, and I want him at an amusement park.
The only pop that we're gonna have is if Keith Lee wins the Royal Rumble.
Is popcorn? Am I right? For when
popcorn.
Goldberg
Now it's racist, boy.
Okay.
But
not you. I'm just
kidding. Yeah, not me. Now it's these braces in my teeth. So should we have a bold prediction for the show overall before we continue to our high count or high spot?
Is my bold prediction for the 2021 Royal Rumble is just one word, and it's an unfortunate word, and it's disappointment.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same exact thing. The show overall will be disappointing. It may not be bad, but I don't want the men's Royal Rumble to put a stink on the rest of the show.
It is going to, because it's going to go last, and Goldberg is going to win. All it takes, all my prediction takes is, and I think it's going to open the show, is Goldberg losing to Drew McIntyre.
I will try to be a little optimistic here, because we're both being awfully pessimistic. I think the women's Royal Rumble will make 2 stars out of Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. They'll finally come into fruition as the stars that they will be. But we'll just get them sooner than expected. Bianca Belair will win, but both of them will come out looking like balls of fire going into 2021. Hopefully we have fans back by the end of the year. But damn, it's going to be one hell of a show this Sunday. Wrestle Real Talk.
Real Talk.
We have We have a couple more chats from Dylan. Watch Lesnar not returning the Rumble earlier in the night. Ooh, that's
and go after Drew or go after Roman,
Goldberg, or Roman.
Or go after Goldberg. Oh Jesus.
Utter dissatisfaction. I like dissatisfaction too from Dylan in the chat. And one more time, Dylan with a question before we go on to our high spot. Who do you both think number 30 for the men's is?
Disappointing.
I know we chatted about it a bit ago, about just like the idea, but we didn't say who is going to be. I'm going to say it'll be, oh God. I'm going to say, it might be Keith. I'm going to say Keith.
Dolph Ziggler. All right. So
again?
Yeah, why not? So here's an utter disappointment, or no, here's a bold prediction. I will give a positive spin on a bold prediction. I think that AJ Styles and Omo are going to steal the show at the Royal Rumble, in the men's Royal Rumble match, because I think that Omo is going to. I think that Omo is going to catch AJ multiple times. I don't think AJ is going to win though.
AJ's in my bottom four, in my final four. Then.
Yeah. All right, we have a high spot because we have an exciting night coming up, just for our channel in general. So we need to get to that eventually. But let's go on with a high spot of the freaking night from Chris Anthony Lopez.
For those new to the program, every single week Nick and I do this show, and we do our high spot to end the week. And our high spot typically consists of, like something we need to get off our chest, maybe an unpopular opinion, something that we just want to, just to chat about, right? So, Nick, to me, this past Friday, well, not tonight, but this past Friday SmackDown had something that we hadn't seen in a very long time, if at all, over the last decade. And that's intergender wrestling within WWE. And intergender wrestling, it was between Reginald, the valet of sorts for Carmella, and Sasha Banks.
Yes.
And if you're going to have an intergender match with somebody, the woman should be Sasha Banks, or at least one of them should be Sasha Banks. And the man, it was just Reginald, and she stomped the hell out of Reginald. It is what it is. So the thing with intergender wrestling and wrestling overall, by the way, Matt Thompson in chat, why aren't you talking about the Young Rock trailer? Wait till the show drops. We don't have to review trailers on here. It's Wrestle Real. What the hell? So the thing, it looks good. It looks great. And we're, of course, like we mentioned it at the top, we're going to talk Young Rock when it happens, when the show drops in February. But as I was saying, probably rudely interrupted. Intergender wrestling. In wrestling overall, intergender wrestling is awesome. I don't know about you, Nick. I don't know how you feel about it, but I thoroughly enjoy it. Before she really fell off the deep end, Tessa Blanchard was on top of the world, and she won the TNA, or the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. And it was pretty damn cool. I'm not even going to lie to you. Even though Tessa Blanchard said some pretty messed up things to people that look just like me, I was like, that's not who I would want as my world champion. And Impact definitely did something about it. But that has nothing to do with intergender wrestling. Intergender wrestling will and should happen in WWE at some point. Not all the time. I'm not saying it should be all the time, but mixed tag matches, I think you can do something in the vein of that, where you can still allow for the men and women to compete against each other, do the intergender thing, and just, you don't have to throw any punches. Like, oh my God, like when women train to wrestle, odds are, who's training them? A man. What are the odds? Like, I want to know the ratio to how many men are wrestling trainers compared to women. That's like, so women are no strangers to taking bumps from guys. And the fact that, like, we can still do an elbow collar tie up, we can still do crazy stuff like that. And I think this past Friday on SmackDown was a great step in the right direction, where we can have some type of intergender wrestling in WWE and it be relatively safe, and the women because I know it's WWE. They want to be safe about everything.
Yes.
And I totally understand. Intergender wrestling can look bad. It can look bad. But if you work around it in a certain way, you'll be able to do it correctly. If it happens, it'll be on NXT first. And if you want to be safe, you do it with Candice LeRae, who's no stranger to intergender wrestling, and Johnny Gargano. Like, if anything, you have them compete against each other. They're husband and wife in real life. I think they'll be fine. And they're two wrestlers who are no strangers to intergender wrestling. They're no strangers to wrestling themselves or wrestling against each other. So I actually really enjoyed the segment with Sasha Banks and Reginald. I did like it from this past Friday SmackDown. Will we see more of it anytime soon? No, we don't. We won't. Odds are we won't.
No.
But do I think that we should see some type of intergender wrestling going forward? I think it'd be cool. And I know WWE right now, they're like, oh, we're all family friendly. But now USA is like, do more adult stuff. And it obviously you have to clear it through the women, make sure they're okay with it. All the lady wrestlers of WWE. It should be an option if they would like to do it. It should be an option on both sides if the men are even comfortable with doing it. Right. That's something that it's a conversation that should be had internally. And maybe that is something they've had internally. But from the outside looking in, I think it'd be something that could be well executed and well done. If done on occasion, don't do it every week on Raw.
No, not every week. And hey, listen, I'm with you. I don't think that they need to do it all the time.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But why not give it a try every once in a while, as long as the people are down, maybe it seems like a Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss thing could happen,
You just saw Randy Orton RKO.
Well, they're not opposed to doing moves. And they did the whole mixed tag team challenge, though the rule with WWE's mixed tag teams has always been men face the men, women face the women. Take a chance. I don't see why that couldn't be done. I am not opposed to that whatsoever, and I think that's not a bad idea. That was a quality high spot right there, my friend.
Thank you.
They always are. They always are.
I know I usually come at it from a point of like, stop doing this. or
you're like, start doing this instead. Damn it.
It's like this time, like I thought it was well executed. And I'm not saying have Alexa Bliss wrestle Braun Strowman. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, if it's well done and both people are comfortable with it, bless you, and both people are comfortable with it, then why not work it into storyline at some point? And I know, bless you, and I know some people are going to be more for it, more against it than others, and that's okay. But just to have the option out there, it wouldn't hurt. And I don't know what the general reception was among Sasha Banks and Reginald wrestling each other, but I thought it was pretty cool, and it was the closest thing we'll ever get, the closest thing we've gotten to a proper intergender wrestling match in this new era of WWE. We've seen women take bumps, seen them go through tables, and seen them go through all this crazy stuff, right? But it's not a match. It's not a 20+ minute match where a story is being told,
right? And
it's properly built towards this. In this case, it was just the acrobatic guy taking on the trained wrestler in Sasha Banks. Yeah,
and it was fine. It was good.
I thought it was fun. I thought it did its job. It did its job, and you can do that going forward. I'm not saying have freaking Hell in a Cell, brother, with freaking Charlotte and Seth Rollins, even though that match would be awesome if you let them do it. It's not like and I totally understand why WWE is so hesitant.
Charlotte will be your first ever women's WWE champion, by the way.
If that ever does happen, that's a conversation for a different day.
Yes.
I'm trying to get another step in that direction. And to your point, yes. If a woman right now is going to be WWE champion at some point, it will be Charlotte Flair. But
let's get there.
We're a long way to get there. We have a long way to get there. And I don't think, like, say right now, Vince not going to be like, oh, Charlotte, Russell, Drew. And it's like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But we can work towards it. We can find a way towards it. And let's do more intergender wrestling on WWE programming. It doesn't have to be main roster either. NXT will probably do it first.
Yes. Good. All right.
I think that's it, Nick.
I think that we did everything.
Before we leave, did we miss anything?
Love hearing that out of you every single week.
I gotta make sure.
It's something I think about every single time we do this show. It's Chris is going to say the line. Chris is going to say the line. And he said the line. No, I don't think so. But I don't. Hell, if we didn't plug it enough, Wrestle Real Talk will be this Sunday. So if you're here, Dylan, thank you so much. First of all, Dylan, super fan of the show. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We like seeing new faces over here who are they real entertainment, not just on Wrestle Real, but on all the shows. So we like seeing new people coming to the chat. So Dylan, what's going on? Hope to see you on Sunday.
Which by all accounts, it sounds like you will be. We will be live with some guests watching the Royal Rumble. So join us back here this Sunday. You know, this is something that Chris and I like to do because it gives us the opportunity to expand the show to a different day, show off what we can do on our own and stuff like that amongst a different audience potentially who might be there for Real Talk. If you like wrestling, if you like the Royal Rumble, please come back. Wrestle Real Talk will be there. Dylan will be there this Sunday. Dylan, we are excited to see you back here on the channel. We cannot wait. Anyways, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining us for another live episode of Wrestle Real. And make sure that you join us for Wrestle Real Talk this Sunday.
Look, man, this is so much fun to do every single week, and the fact that we get to do some cool stuff like Wrestle Real still boggles my mind. Wrestle Real Talk boggles my mind.
It's fantastic.
So, like what you said, Nick, if you like wrestling, if you like chatting with us over the course of the show, thank you so much to everyone that did. Shug, Dylan, we really appreciate it. Matt, for for the little bit that you was here, and like we mentioned, 5:15, 6:15, or 5:30, 6:30 Central Time, Eastern Time. We'll be floating around that because we're going to do some movie news first.
Yes.
Real Talk is a movie news program, so we will do movie news to begin with. So Nick and I and some guests, we will talk about the latest and greatest in movie news, and then when the Rumble starts, we'll start watching some wrestling, chatting about wrestling for however long the damn show goes.
That's right. That's right.
So Nick, one last thing. Follow us on social media down at the bottom.
The socials are there.
And our Twitters. Those are our Twitter handles up there. Our Instagrams are just flowing down there. Yeah, like what Nick said, subscribe, follow, like, all that crazy shit. And for entrant number 30, the true 30th entrant, Nick.
I'm the 30th entrant.
Nick is. My name is the world's strongest Chris Anthony Lopez. Thank you so much for watching Wrestle Real. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.